Well, happy Sacred Soul Sunday. We're like refugees, you know. We have our little soul pod, our soul pod, and we're safe here. We're safe because you are harbingers of the light. You are lighthouses, my dears. Thank you for your beautiful company. This is divine company. We are to each other. Ah, that's really special. And yeah. So Lisa and Jim are on, but they're kind of you got a faded look, guys, but that's all right. You look cool. We can't see, you're kind of blurred, but that's all right. And you are what you are. You're divine beings. And hello, good morning, Tara. So glad that you made it this morning. And I see that Cami came on, which is beautiful. And we have quite a show. We have a really big show. Sarah probably remembers that. Ed Sullivan, whatever his name was. We got a really big show back in the day, Lynn too. Yeah, but it all starts with this little mantra that I'll probably be saying to us throughout the session this morning, and it's like goes like this: Today, I hope you have a peace that makes you smile, kindness that touches your heart, and a blessing that stirs your soul. Yeah. Today, I hope you have a peace. And let's just feel this as I say these words. I might repeat them a couple times. For our world. Yeah, let's do an every because we are a we. We're an everybody. Today, we hope you have a peace that makes you smile, kindness that touches your heart, and a blessing that stirs your soul. Hmm. Today, we hope that you have a peace that makes you smile, kindness that touches your heart, and a blessing that stirs your soul. And once more, today we hope. And hope is an acronym in the AA program. Heart open, please enter. HOPE. Heart open, please enter. Today we hope you have a peace that makes you smile, kindness that touches your heart, and a blessing that stirs your soul. Now, a couple days ago, we had spent some time feeling Yogananda's amazing energy and blessings on us, and just 2 days later, not the same year, of course, his guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar, if you are aware of the lineage of Self-Realization Fellowship, had his Mahasamadhi. So this is March 9th, and it's a celebration of that guru, that avatar. And he said this. This is a beautiful thought from him, Sri Yukteswar. He said, the the lost paradise is quickly regained through divine meditation. Our lost paradise, our lost awareness, our lost, under this Maya delusion we have forgotten. But that lost paradise is quickly regained through divine meditation. And that's what we are all about right now, is a divine meditation and perhaps a divine intervention, not just for us, but for our world and for the struggles that's going on in our world. And yet at the same time, this has always been the recurring history repeats itself on this planet. There's always been troubles like this. So nothing's new, except it might be new for us in the sense that we might be limited in some ways to a pretty highfalutin life here in the West. And we're not used to that. So, but what we can get used to is regaining this lost paradise of our happiness and our joy and our freedom in spirit, in consciousness. So just so you might just have a little heads up about the relationship between Sri Yukteswar and Yogananda, guru and disciple, teacher and student, which we all are because we're disciples of truth. We're disciples of what resonates in our heart as truth. Everyone has their own take on it. But this is what happened in uh, in 1936 on March 9th. That's when Sri Yukteswar left the body. But some time after that, some months after that, this is what happened. And this is a quote from Yogananda. Sitting on my bed in Bombay Hotel, this is in the autobiography of a yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. Sitting on my bed in the Bombay Hotel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon of June 19th, 1936, 1 week after the vision of Krishna. I guess Yogananda had a vision of Krishna a week before. I was roused from my meditation by a beatific light. Before my open and astonished eyes, the whole room was transformed into a strange world. The sunlight transmuted into a supernal splendor. Imagine a divine light entering where you're sitting right now. It would turn into a supernal splendor. Waves and waves of rapture engulfed me as I beheld the flesh and blood form of Sri Yukteswar. He resurrected. My son, Master spoke tenderly. On his face, an angel bewitching smile. But it's you, Master. The same Lion of God. He used to call Sri Yukteswar the Lion of God. Are you wearing a body like the one I buried beneath the cruel Puri sands? That's where he was buried. Yes, my child, I am the same. This is a flesh and blood body, though I see it as ethereal. To your sight, it is physical. He was in his ethereal form, his astral form, Sri Yukteswar. From the cosmic atoms. This is like, Star Trek and Star Wars. This is like some might just think, oh, this is fantasy, right? From the cosmic dream, or what the atoms, from the cosmic atoms, I created an entirely new body, Sri Yukteswar said, exactly like that cosmic dream physical body which you laid beneath the dream sands at Puri in your dream world. I am in truth resurrected, not on earth, but on an astral planet. This has always gotten me. As prophets are sent on earth to help men work out their physical karma, so I have been directed by God to serve on an astral planet. See, this is really out there stuff, isn't it? To serve on an astral planet as a savior in the astral world, the higher astral world. There is Sri Yukteswar. It is called Hiranyaloka, or illumined astral planet. So I often reach out to all the gurus in the lineage, and I keep it as a habit, a daily habit, to connect with each one, and just in my own little way. And I oftentimes, go to the Hiranyaloka and imagine in my mind and visit with Sri Yukteswar. So I'm just saying all this stuff because in truth, we have the same capabilities of having the divine teacher or our soul visit us today, and they come in with a light that seems like, wow, I've never had a light like this. And then it turns into supernal splendor, and we get to talk one-on-one with the divine beloved. How's that? So let's close our eyes, everybody. And I know that was a lot, and a lot of you aren't aware of the autobiography of a yogi. Well, maybe you are, but not necessarily some of the stories that's in there. And I said it only because we're gonna visit in his book Holy Science. Sri Yukteswar wrote a book, Holy Science, he talks about the 5 stages of the heart, and we're going to meditate on the 5 stages of the heart that Sri Yukteswar says there's stages of our heart, and we're going to meditate on those 5. So let's find our beautiful harmony of our quiet minds, our focused minds, our devoted hearts, the breathing, the breath of God, and our beautiful soul who's leading the charge and always leading us on. That soul is the one that can turn into the divine beloved of your choice, and come to you and make you feel absolutely 100% safe and secure when you know there are higher realms and we are capable of experiencing them here and now in this very, very difficult times we're in. We can feel heaven. Kingdom of heaven is within us, my dears. So find your rhythm of breath. Be safe here. Feel that you have your tribe with you. And that's all awakening souls, right? That's all the beautiful beings, whether they're on this dimension or another dimension or the highest dimensions with the Supreme Spirit, the Supreme Absolute, Yogananda says. But whatever is perfect for you right now, just find your place of rest. Find your place where there is no fear. Find your place where there's just this possibility. And you are believing and trusting 100% in this possibility that you are this divine being, that you are safe right now. Our own world is still safe right now. But I will read this before we go into the stages of the heart. This little quote from Paramahansa Yogananda. This is what he said. Yogananda says, surrender to God. Surrender to God. Running the world is his responsibility. Running the world is his responsibility. He is the doer, not you or I. Surrender yourself to God, and you will find that your life will become a beautiful melody. A beautiful melody. Surrender yourself to God, and you will find that your life will become a beautiful melody. And that melody, part of the lyrics is, today we hope you have peace that makes you smile, kindness that touches your heart, and a blessing that stirs your soul. As we go into the stillness and the quiet, because there is where we have our communion. Here is where we find our reality, is in the stillness and the silence within. Maybe you could assume an inner smile, an inner smile. And a really tender kindness that's moving your heart to tears, the kindness that's touching your heart moves you to tears. And a blessing from your divine beloved that stirs your very soul. A blessing that stirs your very soul as you imagine the supernal light of God. The first stage of the heart is called a dark heart. And every human goes through these stages. And for this, I just want you to pull up something where it was very dark in your life. Not to remember the dark, but how you have come out of it into the light. Because suffering is the greatest prod to the remembrance of your soul. Pull up those times where it went from dark to light. The next stage of the heart, the second stage, is called the propelled heart, where now you are now seeking for answers. You are looking here and there for some help with all this and have a purpose in your life. And so, just like in AA, you realize you are helpless. So you hand over your life and you ask for help. You hand your life to God and you ask for help at the propelled stage of the heart. The third stage is called enlightened faith. You have found a path. You have found what you think is a perfect fit for you, a teacher, perhaps, or a way of being, a way of life. And your faith is enlightened. And this is called the steady heart. The steady heart. Enlightened faith. And you believe that you believe there is help. You believe that you have a higher power. And it steadies your heart. And the fourth stage of the heart is called a devoted heart. Your faith and trust in the higher power brings you a personal, intimate relationship with some aspect of source, of truth, the cosmic mother, perhaps, the divine beloved, perhaps, where you have one-on-one intimacy. In this devoted heart, I wrote these words once. I live in the cosmic womb of the mother. I live in the cosmic womb of the mother. I relax. I surrender. And I love her with the undeviating devotion of my heart, with the undeviating devotion of my heart. And the final stage, the fifth stage of the heart, is called the clean heart. The clean heart. And I'll describe it in these other words that I wrote. From me to you, I'm sending a love letter. From you to me, straight from my heart. There's nothing left of me but you, my beloved. There's nothing left of me but you, my beloved. You are me. I am you. We are one. You are me. I am you. We are one. We are one. We are one. I can feel the master here. And how can I have that feeling? Because I pour my heart into connecting with that master every day. That's why I can feel the blessings of Sri Yukteswarji right now. And of course, Paramahansaji. And they're blessing you, my dears. And they're blessing you. Can you share this with your loved ones at home? Can you share your state of consciousness, whatever that may be right now, with your loved ones at home, for starters? Maybe there's some loved ones where you don't talk too often to, for whatever reasons. Can you share anyway? And now can we all just share with those who we have a very, very, very hard time loving? Because we only love God as much as the one we love the least. Can we share? Can we? Can we share with those that we don't love? Today, we hope you have a peace that makes you smile, a kindness that touches your heart, and a blessing that stirs your soul. We thank you, Sri Yukteswarji, though we might not know even how to pronounce your name, nor have we ever turned our attention to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You would be the last one to say, send me your prayers. You'd be the first one to say they go straight to the source. And it's the same with all liberated beings. They don't take any of it on themselves. They know that they are totally dependent on source. It goes straight through. That's why it doesn't matter. Your devotion goes straight through to the Supreme Absolute. So we're so grateful for this blessing. We're so grateful for the smile and the kindness that's touching our hearts right now. And so it is, and so be it. Mm. Okay. Sacred Soul Sunday. This is what happens on Sacred Soul Sunday. There's my best friend, Ashley. Yeah. Well, this is a soul talk time, but I'm lost for words. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I could be lost for words, but this is our soul talk, which we already had kind of. Yeah. And I wanted it to be around the shape the shaping that we shape our own reality. Yeah. It's so important. It's so important. And actually, it's not just our reality, but it's how we want to heal ourselves. It's the same concept. And also, it is the same concept as the essence of hope. And all three are so needed now. And so I'm so grateful for you all for, you know, part of that third step, that steady heart is that you decide that you're going to battle the weaknesses that you have. You're gonna transform them somehow. So that is called a kshatriya warrior and a warrioress, or a goddess warrior. And so I'm so proud of all of you for being, this stellar soul, actually, that would even want to be on this line right now. And because part of this is to have an intuitive imagination that's off the charts, that goes against, like, so for every upheaval, we turn it into a deeper connection to source. For every really sad experience that happens, tragedy that happens, we turn it into more pure devotion for our world and more compassion for our world. So all the stuff that seems to be the troublesome stuff, we turn in, and this is the true nature of alchemy, that we turn everything into love. Eventually, we turn every situation, no matter what it is, into love, because love is like yesterday we had that Om, and I called it Om Love, and we chanted that. Yeah, we want to be able to alchemize the darkness and turn it into light. From and Yogananda, as from the Upanishads, he often quoted this. He said, how did it go? It started with, yeah, from darkness to light. Bless me that I go from darkness to light, from restlessness to peace, the unreal to the real, and from death to immortality. So that's part of the alchemy that we're talking about. From darkness to light, from restlessness to peace. So whenever we're in the dark place, we go to the light. Whenever we are restless, we go to the peace. Whenever we're caught up in the lies, the unreal, we go to the real. And whenever we're afraid of losing our bodies, this thing called death, we turn to the immortality of our souls. That's kind of what I'm getting at, is shaping our reality, because we don't buy into the delusion anymore. If you go through those stages of the heart, we've worked through that already, my dears. We've worked through that. We've suffered, and we've suffered, and we have suffered long enough to turn to the divine for help, which is that propelled heart, that second stage, right? Did we have any other way out? The way out is the way in, you know? So we went and we asked for help. We actually asked for help. We did a soul call. Yogananda had a chant that, Mother, I give you my soul, soul, soul call. You can't remain hidden anymore. You can't remain hidden anymore. And then it goes, come out of the silent sky, come out of the mountain glen, come out of the silent sky, come out of the mountain glen. Come out of my secret soul, Mother, come out of my secret soul. Come out of my secret soul, Mother, come out of my secret soul. Come out of my cave of silence, come out of my cave of silence. Mother, I give you my soul. Soul. So call, you can't remain hidden anymore. You can't remain hidden anymore. Yeah. If we'd had the soul, I'd have that, I'd be playing on my harmonium that. So we got our little chant in on this. I know, look at Ashley going, yeah, 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 yeah. No, isn't that a beautiful concept? So call, that was our second stage, the propelled heart. That's all it does is calling out, is calling out. And the steady heart is where you actually start to have the faith, the enlightened faith, you know, that yeah, this is what I've always wanted. I feel different. I'm actually having a few moments, you know, a few ahas here and there. Even though I still sit down, I'm as restless as a bee when I try to meditate. You have no idea. I felt coming into the ashram that I was the most worldly guy there. I really did. And everyone else seemed to be such a saint. And I'm going, oh God, what have I done? I don't know if I belong here at all. And so I just, you know, I did have one thing though. One thing. The only thing that worked for me was the devotion. I did have that. I went there because I wanted to love like Yogananda loves. What I got from his autobiography, what I got from his teaching, is there is somebody who loves. And because he loves unconditionally, unceasingly, undeviatingly, I want that. So I was able to put up with all my shenanigans, all that darkness for so long. If you were to read my diaries in those early years, you would have went, whoa, this guy's in the black. He's in the black zone. Yeah. Diary after diary after diary. Oh, yeah. And I think some of you have heard this. For the first year and a half when I was in the initial training called the postulant ashram, I uh, I had to cry. I cried myself to sleep at night because I really didn't have the enlightened faith, and I thought that I wouldn't be able to make it the next day in the ashram. So I came up with a prayer that isn't a typical prayer I would come up with. Usually I'm kind of flowery. I just came up with a prayer. Help me to do that which I must do. Help me to do that which must be done. And I said that over and over till I fell asleep at night. Then years later, when we were doing we had the Mayan a Mayan uh, a Mayan person come who was a Mayan of the Mayan culture, and we started to get really into their culture and their mindsets and everything, and so one day this guy came to the soul in the early years when we were up in the first place with only 1,200 square feet, and he came there and he did the four corners, you know, because they do north, south, east, west, and they have their mantras that go along with the four corners, right? Some of you probably have done that in ritual somehow, some way. And when they came to one, I don't remember which one it was, south, north, east, west. And it came to, and you know what the prayer was? Help me to do that which must be done. I went, whoa! I tapped into it. I tapped into it. Maybe that's what got me through. Something tied me to the Mayans. Anyway, I say that because it doesn't matter where we're at, my dears. It doesn't matter the struggle. What matters is this one little thing, this kindling candle that you hold in your heart for love, for devotion. And that will bring you, that will take you, and it says in the Gita that undeviating devotion will take you all the way to the divine realization. You know what Sri Yukteswar said? The lost paradise is quickly regained through divine meditation. And when that meditation is filled with your heart, I still don't really do the techniques right that Yogananda subscribes. I don't. I don't do them. I don't think I don't do them right. Maybe it's just me, but it doesn't matter. You know, there's a story of Draupadi, a great disciple of Lord Krishna, and Krishna said, Draupadi, I want you to go and meditate, and I want you to meditate this particular way. And he gave her a particular way to meditate. And so says she, okay, Krishna, I'll do that. I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you. And then she went and tried it, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all. She felt horrible that she couldn't do the meditation that Krishna wanted her to do. And she went back to him and said, Sir, I just flopped. I just flopped at that meditation. He said, well, what did you do? She said, I just loved you. I couldn't take my mind off of loving you. So I just loved you. And you know, Saint Teresa of Lisieux, the little flower saint, they asked her, what do you do when you pray? She said, I don't pray. I say nothing. What do you say? She said, I say nothing. I just love him. I just love him. Yeah. So don't worry about techniques so much. Don't worry about, instructions so much, because you don't take anyone's word for granted, right? I mean, not for granted, but for real. You have your own way. And that is how we shift the reality, because your way is so crazily unique and special and divine that no one could match it. No one can match it but you. You're the perfect match to you. And you playing your note, like I mentioned this before, like we're a big symphony and all we got to do is play our little note. Maybe it's just a little drum beat. I saw a cute thing with a golden retriever, yes. And the lady taught him, she's playing this a fiddle, she's playing the fiddle, and he's got his foot on a where you step on it and it hits the drum. and she would play and then kind of stop and pause and nodded to him and he'd go boom. Boom. And then she kept playing and that was so darn cute, See, this is the kind of joy that we need to reshape or shape our own reality, my dears. Is it possible? I'm asking you a question. Is it possible for us to feel extreme joy when there's extreme sadness going on in our circle of life? And in some cases, your circle of life is our nation, right? Some of you were born here. Some of you grow up here, right? God bless America and all that, right? But is it possible? I'm asking you, is it possible in your heart of hearts? Is it possible? Maybe it's not doable now. Maybe you're still mad as hell with everything. Maybe you're still in the grieving state, whatever, right? But is it possible that we can have an undercurrent of joy running no matter? That's how Yogananda dealt with the death of his mom and the death of Sri Yukteswar. He said it didn't take away this undercurrent of joy that is always going on in my heart, because he's established that clean heart, which is that union and oneness with the beloved, right? That stays. And yet he still could grieve, he still could cry, he still could do all of that, but that isn't the essence of him. His whole being is locked up in that joy, the joy of his being, his joy of his soul. So this is kind of what the shaping of the reality that we want, that you want, that would be like if you were in charge of everything right now in the nation. You were that coming to you as the soul. Whatever you say, we will do. We follow you. How would you lead? How will you would you lead? What would you do? Right? But we can ask ourselves that question because eventually your soul is going to wake up here at the crown chakra. Thousand petals, thousand petals of bliss right up here, right in the cerebrum, kids. Not very far. I see. I shave my head so I can touch that joy, some of those lotus petals in my bald head, right? But yeah, well, we're the leaders. We need to lead. We need to lead ourselves, right? And that means that your mind that seems can do its own thing still, probably, right? That takes a while too. That's why that's why I mentioned the other day I want to have us do trainings. We need serious training. I have a nice quote about that. We need serious training. I don't care who you are. I need serious training. I'll never stop training. I'll never stop training, right? But anyway, so that we can control these minds, so that we can go through those stages of the heart and know that our heart is getting more and more purified as we go along, right? That we're less emotional, that we're less, criticizing, that we're less looking around and just, leaving our meditation. I'll catch it later because I have to do this and I have to do that, so that we gain control, that we actually master ourselves. Self mastery is really the ultimate aim of alchemy. Because if you master love, if you master devotion, you have it all. That's it. That's all God wants is your love. Yogananda says that the only thing the Supreme doesn't have is our love because he gave us free choice. See, that's every person in a relationship with a loved one or a child or whatever that's close to home, right? It's so easy that because we're the main caregivers. By the way, the number one cause of stress is overcaring, over caring, yeah, over caring, and we think that we are the one. What did I read you that thing from Yogananda? He said, "You're not the doer. God is the doer of everybody." But can you imagine having the same thing that God says? He says, I give you free will. You can do anything you want with it. You can cuss at me. You can do whatever you want, but it doesn't change my love for you, right? And so can we also have that kind of, a disassociation, even though we love them to kingdom come, in a real personal way because they're blood, if it is a child, if it is a spouse, and all that, we really need to manage ourselves to the point where it doesn't matter anymore because everything we do, every person in our life, every little detail we do, especially the mundane, we spiritualize the mundane, so the mundane becomes a sacred ritual, right? The daily vacuuming, the daily dishes, the daily cleaning of the house, which I must admit, I'm not the greatest at that. Trish reminds me of that all the time, you know? And because the two doodles, they come in, they got mud on their feet, and I go, "What's wrong with that? They're dogs." Well, I could probably clean them a little better, but anyway. So you know what I'm saying? That we have love that just is the current that runs through us. That is the only thing that, okay, I just got sideswiped by an energy, someone, by some news from something, and Yeah, I saw something on the news today, and I ran up and knocked on Trisha's door, and she was meditating. I said, "Oops, I don't want to bother you with this now." And so I closed the door. And as soon as she was done, "Hey, hon," I had to share some news. Yeah, well, that's part of it too, right? And then and at the same time, I was getting ready to meet with all of you. And I don't, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for me. I feel like I need to have a good tune up in the mornings that we come online together. I want to tune in with you. I want to know if God can use me to help you. Yeah, so it takes a little while. That's why I avoid most of the news. But in this case, I saw something, and you know what it brought up? I'll be honest. You know me, I'm not afraid to say what I feel. And that Yogananda had a little pamphlet, and I'd highly advise that maybe all of you try to, if you live in Encinitas, if you haven't gotten this, actually, it's called the World Crises. It's a little pamphlet. I think they still have it available. And and man, I read that years and years and years ago, and you're kind of thinking, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen around here. He's saying, "Oh, we all have to have a garden. We all have to get ready. We all have to da 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 da," and it sounds awful, 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 like totally what it says in his world crisis. And I said, Trish, it's here. It's here. And so, not to scare anybody, because again, history repeats itself. But um, yeah, he put out this thing, and so Trish, she's so intuitive, my wife Trish. A lot of you know her, and so it was some years ago, and we were still in. Were we out here? Let me see if we were here or if we were in California. I forget. But she found a real dump little house, but it had acreage. It had acreage, and it was out in the country, and she just couldn't get her heart off of it. She said, "We got to get this. We got to get this," but she didn't know why, and I certainly didn't know why, because it was a dump. It was complete trash of a house, and yeah, it had a lot of acres. It had a lot of acres, a lot of good farmland, all that. But I couldn't buy into it. So we didn't get it. But anyway, she brought it up this morning. Told you. Should have gotten that farm. You gotta, one thing I've learned as a monk for all those years, I had a little 8 by 10 room, right? So that was my little cell. And when the day was done, pretty much you close the door and you're not going to be bothered by anybody. Although they made me a counselor, so I was on night duty. So I got these crazy calls at night when it was my turn. But other than that, no one's disturbing you. So that, 25 years there. And then now I think I've been married close to 25. So I know both. I know both lives, right? And you want to know which one's the hardest? Yeah, the marriage life. The marriage life, because you really got to get your act together, or the marriage can go, you know, can get a little just kind of existing, right? So you really have to have your act together. So I was in an ashram of discipline. Now I'm in married with the discipline. My wife's the guru. But a happy wife, a happy life, right? So I'm learning a ton out here, guys and girls. And the most thing I enjoy the most is I would not, if I was a monk, being able to do this, because I'd have other duties. But I get to do what my soul is asking me to do, and that's to share with all of you. How's that? It even rhymes, right? So I had some great readings, but 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 I think this was okay just to go off the grid a little bit. Actually, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ash, I was kind of expecting that you might have gotten the word to the other community and maybe they were going to pop on.
I was hoping to do that today. Yeah, I was hoping to do that today. So let's chat when we can.
Oh,
I think it'll
absolutely.
be really I think it'll be really interesting to see how, who is called to join. I just think this is such a beautiful community, and
Yeah.
it's so nice that each one of you join each day like I do, just because it really fills us. And so, yeah, I just think it's really exciting to see where we can take this. And I'm not really savvy, if you will, in this type of thing, but it calls me, and I'm inspired by you, Tom, and all.
Yeah, but you are, I've been using good words to tell Trisha how much I appreciate you, Ashley. I
Yeah,
said
it's been really.
she's fearless, she's relentless, and she'll get it done. If there's a way to get it done, that woman get it done. Yeah.
Well,
So
thank you. Thank you
no,
so
I
much. You
appreciate
inspire me. It's
it.
it's a
It's a good combo. A good
labor of
combo.
love.
Yeah.
It's been a fun journey, and this is a beautiful journey. Every day I really do enjoy, and this
Right.
carries me.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do y'all feel right now? Anyone have something to share? How y'all feeling? How were those stages? Did it make sense? Did I make some sense out of those stages? Was it interesting to you? Yeah. But doesn't that did you identify with those stages more or less? Those
What
stages of the
one
heart?
you said, Tom, is that when you're in the darkest part of your life, that joy is within, and that's something I experienced about 28 years ago in an especially dark time, and just found that joy within. So that was really a confirmation that that is our true essence.
Nice. Nice. Wow. And
No matter
and yeah. Well,
what
that
we
you're a wounded healer then.
Yes, and I'm also healing on a physical level right now. I just want to say the meditations are really helping me. It's just incredibly healing.
Yes. It's because we open up the door for prana, for chi, the
Yes,
good energy, chi to come in. You know, the more you love, the more energy that comes in.
yes,
And
yes.
the safer you are. Love is love conquers all is the saying. Love conquers all. Any ailment, any problem, whatever, bring in the love and you're gonna feel you can heal like instantly.
The healing vibration.
The healing vibration is love. Yeah. Well, there's a nice quote on that. Healing is the application of love to the parts that hurt. Yeah.
Mm, I
Yeah.
love it.
So it works every time. But everybody else, do you have Todd? Good to see you, man. We were gonna do our hug line, but we'll catch it one of these days. Wait, you got your mute. You're muted. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I always struggle to find that microphone. Well, hello. No, I don't know. I was gonna say like, yeah, you asked the question, can you find joy when in the darkness? And I think the answer is yes. The simple yes, you can, which is really difficult.
Right?
And it made me think of a gal from my office, Vivian, whose birthday is today. But she comes in the office every day and she's always full of joy, no matter what the vibe is in the office. And
Yeah.
it can be like difficult with her, like, God, why are you so happy? It's
Yeah,
like
I
we're having
know.
a hard time
Oh
today.
yeah. Yeah,
But
Todd,
then
I
I'm
got
like, wait a second, it's all good,
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
so, yeah,
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I had a woman that used to come to my yoga classes at the Soul all the time, steady. She was so steady. And then she stopped. And then one day later, I saw her in another class and I said, I miss you. I miss you. I said, why did you stop coming? She said, there was too much joy.
yeah,
There was too much
yeah.
joy.
It's like what? How could it
Okay.
be?
Yeah.
It's like,
So I get you, right? When you're kind of in your own little world, that happy people, and it's kind of like, so you can imagine what the dark side, the real dark side, they despise happy people. They just, "Bah." That's the version of the lower realms right there. Is that they just the happiness, the joy, the light, the love is just like, whoo. So we go through our stages of that to get through that. But I'm happy to hear that you do trust that joy is can be there for you. Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, man.
Well, I shared a really cool song last night that when it came on, I thought of us. It's called We Are the Soldiers of Love.
I saw that you posted it up on WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's a really cool song. So we
Really
are
good.
the soldiers of love.
Hey, Ash, I was gonna ask that you could maybe get us some music on one of these things, right? Because you know how to, yeah. Yeah, I saw that and
Love
I
to.
thought, oh, maybe we're gonna play it today. Maybe Ash was gonna
Okay, well, I'd love to. I'd love to. I have a passion for music. So
well, you
depending
know
on what
how
we're
Lisa,
feeling,
I mean not Lisa, but Trisha did in some of her streams when we did the
like crouton or mantra, yeah, I love music. So anything that you would
okay.
want to do,
Well,
I'm more than happy to maybe just cue it up. I'm not always prepared to lead a mantra, but I could certainly play something in the
yeah, yeah,
stream for
yeah.
us. I think that
Yeah,
would be
like would
lovely.
this
Yeah.
would this work for a meditation taught that song or in the background, or would you want to just listen to it?
It would kind of work. I mean, it's like a singer-songwriter kind of mellow rock song, but it's not necessarily a mantra, but it would work.
Well, we could
Yeah,
do it at
no,
the end. We could do it at the end. We could have our
Uh,
yeah, I think
meditation.
it would be great to share. Yeah, I'll try to do some music. Tom, you and I can chat how we can work it in. That would be really nice. I
Well,
have a couple thoughts for songs too that are just nice to have in the back.
well, let's get Todd on the agenda first, and we'll use this. So, was Soldiers for Love? Was that it?
we
Soldiers.
we
Yeah.
are soldiers of love.
Soldiers of Love. Let's do that one. Surprise me.
And it's a really good tune. I listened to it this morning just before we came on.
Okay.
So this morning. So it's really nice. A little country, but certainly soulful. It's really, really,
I
really nice.
just love the fact that it reminds you of us, of this group, right? So I
Yeah.
think if it has that feeling to you, I think it'll have that feeling for us all. I just like that a lot, that it reminded you of us. I think that's so,
That's
thanks
it.
for sharing.
That's it. Yeah.
I made, I made up a little song yesterday as I was walking, and it was the Om Love Love Om. And I was just singing it along, as I was walking, and it kind of went up and went down, and it was just beautiful.
Oh,
A very good singer because I have some vocal cord strain, but I would somehow love to incorporate that. I also need to add my phone number to the WhatsApp, so maybe after at the end of the stream, I can get that to you.
oh, okay. How do you want that done, Ash?
You just chat it in the chat right now. I can pick it up before we end the call.
Okay,
Please. I didn't realize you weren't receiving. I
I'm
mean,
not
you
any
won't receive what's in the past now. So we've
sure.
learned that's a limitation. You'll receive what comes from now
Okay,
forward. But I
okay,
can resend the song as well, or catch you up on the meditations for the last couple of days. I haven't added them yet.
okay. Thank you. That would be wonderful. I'll have to figure out how to add to the chat, but I'll try to do that.
Okay, I'll just turn off the recording and then I'll leave the thing going so you can put the info there for Ashley.
Yeah, it's like simple. If you just like kind of tap your screen or there should be a chat bubble that comes up at the bottom, and that's where you can type in.
Ah, I see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Okay. So is it recording still? Should I do it now?
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead and do it. And are we all good? Lynn Adams, are you okay? And Betsy, you all cozy and snug in for this Sunday? Yeah, good to have you as always.
Like
Clark,
to get on WhatsApp. I don't know how to do that. How do we get on WhatsApp?
So I can send you an invitation to your phone number. It's not connected to email. Tom has the emails, but the phone number, anybody with a phone number can receive an invitation. It will be a text message. And then you say, it'll be like, hi, I would like you to join WhatsApp. And then you just accept. Or it's a link you'll need to, if you don't have WhatsApp on your phone, you'll need to get it on your phone. We've been a little bit in between right now. So Tom and I have been sort of wondering how would be the best way for us to all communicate. And WhatsApp has some limitations. So we're looking at something else, but let's add you now so you have it. If anybody wants to be added, put your phone number here. And then we should have a platform that's a little bit easier, even in just the next couple of days or a week or so. But yeah, put your numbers and I'll add you today. That way you'll get everything and I'll carry it forward.
And you have to have that app on your phone in order to
I
access.
think so. Yeah, I've had it for a while now, so I just don't know how I got it there. But yeah, I think you do. It's just like a chat, chat app, and you can get it anywhere.
I'm gonna do a closing ohm for the audio. Om, om, om. Hey, I found a recording of Yogananda doing the om. We should get play that too one of these days. Yeah.
Cue that up.
So
Mm.
om, om, om. This is to just bring back our memories of this morning, you know. Om, om, and our learnings. Oh, and here's a real fun thing to do, my dears. Rub your hands together. I learned this from a guru just in a video I saw. He said, when you can't get out of your mind, rub your hands together. Rub your hands together. And Yogananda does this as a little healing thing and while he chants Om. But you can also just turn your hands inward to yourself and you can get the energy pulled out from your head thinking into your hands. All right. Om, om, om. And I just like to kind of feel the waves of Om coming in. Om, 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 om. And then Yogananda ended a lot of his oming. Amen. I'll just go boop, turn off this thing. Stop recording.